Hello, Sharpies, and a special super duper shout out to the quickest Sharpie on the draw this week, my Rattler brother, Michael Bartlett. Let's go. Wah, 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 wah. Excellent job, Michael. And I have to say, Michael was on point because he must have been sitting on the YouTube page because as soon as I hit the thing, he was like, first?
Anthony, bruh, I didn't think it could happen. I didn't think you'd ever be unseated. This is what happened when you go to the bathroom. It just as soon as you walked away, he got you.
Soon as you walk away, it was gone. It was done. Mike was right there, and he jumped on it. So congratulations on your first number one slot. The number one slot.
I'm low-key happy about it because I want the competition to get back.
Oh, come on now. I'm wondering when Chan is going to be sitting.
Right.
I happen to be looking at something and fate met me halfway. Look at that. You know what? That is the advantage of not only subscribing, but also hitting the notification bell. Automatically get a notification whenever we make an announcement about the show and, of course, when the show starts. That's the advantage of being a loyal and faithful Sharpie. And so we appreciate you. And thank you very much.
Speaking of merch, that is something that we are planning for 2026 is start having some Sharpies merch. Like a matter of fact, it was 2 or 3 years ago we had our tumblers made.
Yeah.
And then everybody got busy and other things happened and we'd stop. But we do need, hey everybody. We do need Chan to make a run up in here. We appreciate you too, Anthony. But we're thinking of doing something like, if you make it first in the comment section, you get something like, a sticker, a phone cover, something, whatever we discover that we can mass produce, that we can hand out every week. But that's an engagement thing.
There is the handing out part. And so I think stickers are good. I will say though, I have my own laser engraver now. And so I can be engraving stuff. I can engrave coins. I can engrave little patches. I can engrave tumblers. I can engrave a bunch of different stuff. So,
true. Right. Play to your strengths, Chan.
It is true. So, we'll see. I will in the new year, I will bring forth some samples, and the tumbler should be super duper easy because, of course, I have our logo in a vector format, so it should be super easy to laser engrave. And so I will try to get a sample that folks can see, and I think that would be a great prize. And we could start with stickers, and then maybe we could move up to doing something like a tumbler, like if you get like 5 weeks in a row or something like that, like Jeopardy, you get 5 episodes in a row, then you get the Steel Sharp Steel tumbler, or maybe we'll do some Sharpie the Sharpay merch, something. We'll
something like that. But merch, even if Tom is making it at home, still costs money, and we don't make money on this show. We haven't hit the level to monetize this program. And we got day jobs. He got kids, all kind of stuff. I got interest. I don't know. I spend my money on something. But you might see us also, like if we really did get big enough to have like a big enough following to monetize, or if we're trying to reach that threshold, we might start throwing up a Cash App or something. Be like, if you like the show, give us $1, and then the dollars will pay for shipping bigger things beyond, because we can afford stamps for stickers.
Yeah, stickers is easy. Stickers is super duper easy for sure.
But stay with us because we're working on stuff.
We are working on stuff. And Anthony alluded to it. It is definitely something we wanted to talk about today. And so since Joy put it up there, I'm going to throw the banner on it. What exactly was that speech? I couldn't bring myself to watch all of it because there's only so much. There's Patreon. Only so much I can deal. Yeah, Patreon's a good idea, Michael. Thank you. There's only so many lies, especially the oft repeated lies, that it was just, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? It's the same stuff over and over and over again.
I'm gonna tell you, I didn't watch it, and I wasn't trying to be like escapist or ignorant or whatever, because I didn't need to watch it. I knew I knew what he was gonna say. I knew what it was gonna be. The vagaries of the details, okay, so he rambled about this instead of rambling about that. I knew he was going to ramble. I knew he was going to lie. I knew he was going to try to make himself sound good. I knew that he was going to put out things that are so preposterous that you either absolutely believe him because you don't listen to anybody else, or he's crazy.
Right.
And the thing is, not a single person's opinion was changed, except a few people that don't rock with him no more because of what he said about Rob Reiner and his wife. A few people may have switched, but they switched before the speech. The speech didn't have to happen because what are you even talking about?
No. Right? And that's that wasn't even something that we had on the schedule today, because we're trying to be a bit more focused in what we do in terms of the show. But shout out to Rob Reiner, who was an amazing artist, responsible for a number of the seminal movies of my childhood.
Yeah, he was like the emotional gardener of our childhoods. Like, so much planted, weeded, etc.
Yeah, amazing. Princess Bride,
Harry Met Sally.
That the Stephen King adaptation, Stand By Me. I mean, Spinal Tap.
Which, let's be real. Let me be clear. It notwithstanding with the new iteration, Stand By Me is the best adaptation of a Stephen King book to film. The best.
You think better than Shawshank?
Shit, I forgot Shawshank. Wasn't it him too?
Huh?
Wasn't that him too?
No, it was. That's Frank Darabont.
Oh, okay. But okay, yeah. Okay. So Shawshank and then Stand By Me is right there. But Shawshank benefited from veteran actors. We had children. So I'm gonna give it back.
No, that's true. River Phoenix, Corey Feldman.
If we had only listened to Corey Feldman
on Next
when
Generation.
He told us people was touching folks in Hollywood 40 years ago. If only we had listened to him. Right?
Only.
But nobody wanted to believe a boy and a child. But anyway.
So instead of focusing on the endless lies, I think, of that episode, which, by the way, for some reason, some GOP lawmakers are proclaiming it like it was some amazing speech. It was a seminal. Ooh, if I was a Democrat, I'd be scared after looking at that. I don't know why.
Scared that he's going to get us into a war.
That's about the only thing, because there was nothing other than the fact that he was able to read off the teleprompter and lie effectively by reading those words. There was nothing impressive about that speech because it was nonstop lies. Like Caroline Levitt, this is a chick who sat there and literally said that Donald Trump invented the phrase "drill, baby, drill."
Right.
Like, all of the adults who voted in this last election. See, Chan, this is why I'm going to power through. So, Michael Steele, for the record, Michael Steele uttered those words.
Yeah.
Eventually became the RNC chair. And then Palin, a few months later, turned it into a whole thing.
Can we talk about that cultural appropriation real quick?
I mean,
Michael Steele, at the time being the only prominent Black person in the whole RNC, comes up with a beautiful catchphrase for their party. You know, it is what it is, and has it immediately stolen by a white woman who now gets full video credit for it. But now even she's been co-opted because Trump invented that. He invented prime to pump.
But also, let's be clear, Palin is a non-entity again. So
yeah.
I ain't too much worried about her. This is what I'd like to talk about in lieu of talking about that foolishness. So Donald Trump, first of all, he had his memory wall, right? So that he could remember the presidents. And instead of setting them all at the same height on the wall, he actually stair-stepped them down. And what he did this last week was add these plaques. Now, I'd like to believe that these plaques weren't bronze, but they probably are. And it's like his Truth Social mean tweets underneath these pictures. And it's not even so much that it's his perspective on people like Obama, which of course you'd expect him to drag Obama, or Joe Biden, where he literally has a picture of the auto pen. But under Reagan's portrait, he says that Reagan was a fan of Trump before Trump was president. And I'm trying to figure out how that was supposed to happen.
He's just making up stuff.
And
I really liked his hair. Really?
It's just his unhinged foolishness. And the fact that these people, yes, that's what I'm saying, Mike. He dictated at least some of them. The earlier ones, you know, if you were a president between Washington and Lincoln,
I've just figured it out. I'm gonna tell you what you see. What you see is a man whose cognitive function is in decline. He can't remember beyond the previous president that he knew he didn't like and the black guy. So there's a bunch of vitriol on the guy he didn't like and the black guy. And beyond that, who the hell is this? Who the hell is that? So the rest of them, they pretty much pulled from probably from, their
little profile on whitehouse.gov.
ChatGPT, who was Nixon? And they get this stuff. But he did remember that Reagan had nice hair.
Yes.
And so
that Reagan was a fan of Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump's name is mentioned 3 times on Reagan's plaque. He wasn't even on TV when Reagan was in office.
Not Biff Tannen.
Oh, absolutely. 2 coats, Biff. Oh, yeah. I'm putting that second coat. Okay, so you're right, Michael. It is a part of the frontal temporal lobe damage. And I just can't wait for all of it to be torn down. Like as soon as he's no longer above ground, them things is coming off.
All of it.
All of it.
And somebody said they're gonna have to delouse it too. Like just gas the whole shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You talk about projection. Remember when he said that it was terrible on the inside and it was a real crap house and it was a mess and blah, 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 and it was tacky and all of that stuff. And then he came in and did those things.
That room, you remember the scene in Crazy Rich Asians when the girl goes to Awkwafina's house in Singapore and the mom is in Versace and the dad is in like Bermuda shorts and walking around and eat your nuggets. And they had everything is like, oh, we did it in the style of Versailles. And it's like, that's what the White House is.
Marie, you ain't wrong. He never knew who the presidents were.
Like I said, he knows who Lincoln is because Lincoln was a Republican president. He knows who Washington is. But Adams, Johnson, Coolidge, Truman,
these people. Right?
He don't know any of those people. He knows that Reagan was a winner. He probably remembers Jimmy Carter because he was a Democrat that he could blame horrible gas prices on. And he knows that Bush followed Reagan because he referenced Bush in Obama's plaque because Obama had a surprise win over Bush. And then, so he knows the people recently. That's why they have 2 plaques because it was an unhinged just tweet storm. So if he has grievances, you got 2 plaques, or self-aggrandizement, you got 2 plaques. Otherwise, you got 1 plaque. And to your point, wiki or whatever, something out of the White House archives, just a biographical sketch. That's it.
Yeah. But it's really there because somebody might ask him, hey, who was president? And he has to go look.
Right.
Nixon. Right.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He really doesn't know. And it's absolutely amazing that this is what we're dealing with in the White House. But it is perhaps a little less amazing that this is what we're dealing with because of the Vanity Fair article. Now,
we talked last week about the Diddy documentary and the level of petty that 50 Cent had to be to find these people, pay them money to get them to flip on Diddy, blah blah blah, get all his footage, etc., to make this man look bad with his full knowledge, right? Because he recorded the stuff, he just didn't know it was going to
He
end up.
did.
I thought I had seen all the petty that there was, and then this Vanity Fair piece came out. It's more than it. Oh God, jump scare! Warn somebody when you about to do that, bruh.
So this is why we call this episode Vanity Stare, because quite frankly, the Stepford wifey-ness of Caroline Levitt in this picture, much less, and I don't know about the rest of you. That was the first of the pictures that I saw. And this is no promo, this is uncompensated. You can get Vanity Fair for a year for $12, the digital version.
It's worth it because you get the second part of this.
You get the second part of the interview, and the second part of the interview has the Caroline pictures. Not that you can't find the Caroline pictures anywhere, but when I first saw these pictures and I saw the close-up, I didn't know that that was the crop for the magazine. And in the print version of the magazine, which will be available starting on January 20th, 2026, that cropped image is a full page. So I'm going to go buy a physical copy just so I can scare my grandchildren.
Right.
So
now, wait, if you have another picture makes me think of the substance. You know, you ain't wrong
at all.
Oh, he was still talking about
the thing.
One thing I want to say is I saw a response from the photographer because people were like, why would you do that? You normally you touch up pictures, blah blah blah. He goes, we touch up celebrity photos. These are politicians.
But also he said, this is what I do.
This is what I do.
I try to capture a moment in the life of my subject when I encounter the subject. And he said, that's the makeup she wears.
And that's exactly how she looked. Nobody told her to go get lip injections the day before. Live with your flatness, you superior being.
And how about this? Why would you use a translucent lip gloss instead of something that matched the color of your scars?
Wait, no, pull it up again. I'm going to show you what's happening.
Oh, Phil, yeah, you were late to the party. Here we are. Phil, we're talking about Caroline. And if you look, you can Google these images. It's perhaps a little bit easier to see depending on the brightness and the gamut of your monitor. Along the top edge of her lip, looking like a series of ants, are the...
it looks like herpes.
It does. Some people said herpes. That was literally the first thing I noticed because the post said, "What do you see?" And I was like, filler injection sites. And then people started going, if you look, there's a slight tinge of orange on her nose, which people were saying because it was occupying a certain orifice on hisness. And as I couldn't believe the Rubio picture because honestly, somebody said, Joy, tell them what they said about the Rubio. They said they used the camera that you use when you're trying to diagnose skin cancer.
Yo, I did not hear that. So, because I was like, what are you going for?
And there is one little hair. If you look at the center of his forehead, there's one stray hair.
Yes.
And then if you look higher in his hairline, you can actually see his hair plugs.
But he does. Well, first off, he looked like he don't want to be here. This is the shame. This is the picture showing someone who cannot meet your eyes. You know what I mean? I can't look you in the eye because I know I ain't shit. Right? So put up those pictures again. So I'm gonna tell you what you have. You got Rubio looking like I know I ain't shit. You got JD Vance looking like I think I smell shit. And then you got Caroline in the middle who looks like she's been kissing shit. So it's a shit show, literally.
It absolutely is. And it's not even so much that they had these pictures. These pictures are scary enough. And the Stephen Miller picture is crazy.
Stephen Miller, do you remember? Oh, you know who he is?
Who?
Sin City, that yellow bastard.
Oh my gosh. So I have to pull it up. So I will pull up the picture
I will
of
filibuster while he's looking for Sin City, that yellow bastard. And if you can get a picture of oh boy, so you can see neck side to side, I am so right about this. I won't take it back because I can say that he looks like that. Uh, he did look small in the far photo. Yeah, Mark will be looking like I'm not with them, but you are. He showed up for the picture, but he's trying not to be in the family. Like, that one black sheep in the family be like, I don't know them. Yes, you do.
yes, you
Yes, you
do.
do, because you so
You
and so
absolutely
child,
have them.
you know.
Absolutely
Wait,
know them.
she's got gonoherpes. He got yeah. She know what she ate that pie from the help when that lady put her.
Whoop the help.
Yes,
I think there's something on your lip.
right. You got that nasty woman's disease.
That nasty woman's disease.
Oh,
Oh yeah, this is the perfect one. This is the perfect picture to compare.
he really does look like that. And if you remember the depravity of that individual,
Oh,
it makes sense.
absolutely.
Demon.
That is an amazing comparison, Joy.
Thank you.
You get all props for bringing that one. And I think I'm about to share this. I think our audience will agree.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about the wider pictures on this photo shoot are that there are things that
Gonoherpes.
I am a photographer.
Mm.
And so when you're composing a shot in a room, everything is a part of the tableau. But before we get into that, I give you.
Yeah. Even to the ears.
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah. That's
Spot
what that
on.
is.
And just Google that yellow bastard so you know exactly how depraved that individual was.
Yeah.
But when you look at a picture that you are trying to create, everything matters. And so if there are things that, I don't think that would look good in the picture, you take them out of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
If something is wrinkled, you adjust it. What he did in terms of not fixing the tableau,
Mm-hmm.
especially of Carolyn, she's
Right.
got a statue that's half out the back of her head.
She's standing next to a chair, and it's not like I'm leaning on my seat of power. It's I'm waiting for someone to come sit in this chair and tell me what to do.
And you can tell that because the ass imprint is still on the cushion of the chair.
And the throw across the back looks like somebody was sitting there and got up, like it's wrinkled.
It's wrinkled. And also, why would you put an American flag throw over a chair that had a curved back when it was going to be difficult to lay it out and make it look nice anyway? Mm-hmm. You do a semicircular throw so that it complements the curve of the chair. Not some flat thing that looked like a beach blanket you bought from Dollar General and just folded because it looked like the flag.
That's what they got. That's what that is.
And the thing that I didn't even notice was that there is a print on over the mantle behind her. And it's a peony. So it's a pink peony. And the angle of the flower and the way it's drooping makes it look like a death's head.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up too because now I'm on a tear.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to.
We hadn't planned to dedicate as much time, but this is the gift that keeps on giving.
It is. It's the gift that keeps on giving, for real.
But what the ultimate, while he's looking for that, I'll tell you the ultimate goal, in my opinion, of the photographer was to show the real people in their real environments.
Yep.
With no varnish, no cover, no filter, no makeup, right? Like, well, she had on makeup, which makes it even worse. But
caked.
Right. And I was going to say, but he wanted to show them in all of their morbid fascination, like, what am I looking at? This is them. This is, with the right lights and far back away and some filters on the cameras and whatnot, you can make them look great. But this is who they really are. And I think that's what the whole video series is. This is who you really are, right? There's no hiding. You are this. This is what we see, And speaking to the ants going across her top lip, there was no glossy lip gloss of any kind that she could wear that wasn't going to show those marks. she would have had to get a very dark matte lipstick to
Yep.
try to hide that, because they're catching and collecting in those spots. They're catching and collecting the lip gloss. She could have put on red. She could have put on peach. She could have put on Vaseline. It was all going to look like that. It was always going to be a problem, because those. It's like if you have a pimple. If you don't hit it with the exact same color of your skin, no matter what you do, that pimple's going to show. So she
Yep.
basically has pimples across the top of her lip. They're a little bit raised, a little bit irritated, and they're red. And so unless you cover it with like this type of red lipstick, it was going to show.
Yep.
And she thought she was cute with her little, innocent peach or whatever color that was, pink pussy hat lip gloss. Then it was going to show. And it did.
And it looks crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It looks crazy.
Yeah.
So here is the picture of the two of them. And I'll point out from a photographic perspective what the big challenges are. So some of them will be somewhat blatantly obvious to you. Others may be a little bit more subtle. So let's take a look as soon as it finishes loading, and we'll kind of dissect these. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Caroline. You see the Dollar General blanket flag, which is so poorly laid out. It's also on the wings of the chair.
They could have straightened that whole
They
thing
could have
out.
tucked it under. They could have done any number of things. But if you see what I'm talking about, look at that peony. One of the shadows in the
Oh
center.
my God.
See? It looks like a death's head, doesn't it?
It does. Remember the Mothman prophecies? Like
that is a $19 print from Walmart.
It's a whole monster behind her.
And so the other thing is,
yea, though I walk through the valley of the face of death.
You have a mantle that has two matching lamps in an attempt to create visual symmetry.
Yeah, but
look at the lamp on the right-hand side, how it's tilted, so it doesn't match the one on the. This is a nightmare for a person with OCD.
Right, and you see it, and now it's funny you mentioned that, because somebody who has OCD and maybe in that party will see this and feel like it makes their skin itch.
Right,
and they'll think it's her.
And you've got this vase or something behind her head, which makes it look like she has a hunchback.
The shoes, which she chose, blend into the carpet, making her look cloven hood.
And you've got a dangling cord for a lamp that is not in the shot that you can see through the back of that chair, which I don't even know why that second chair is even there. Also, you didn't frame it in such a way that you could see the entirety of the wingback chair. And instead, you have included a sliver of a cabinet in the alcove instead of centering the shot on that wall, which would have given you a sense of visual. She's not centered on the portrait. I mean, there's so many things that would drive someone crazy when you have symmetry in your overall setup.
There's one more thing, and I think it brings together everything you're saying. She's wearing all red.
Yep.
Which now I rock with red. You know, that's a power color, and it is a power color. However, this entire room is soft toned, right? Yep. And she's a little off center. The lamps in the back aren't symmetrical. The everything else you said, with her being in bright red in the middle, it says to me, you don't belong here.
Yep.
You know what I mean? This is wrong. You shouldn't be in this picture. You are standing here while the real power has left.
And it looks like the fireplace, which has some a little
cordons of wood,
baby cordon maybe, but it looks like the fireplace is sealed. So why would you even have logs in the room? It doesn't make sense. Now, let's slide over to that yellow bastard. Are you trying to tell me nobody could have told that dude to suck his gut in? So that it isn't protruding?
He didn't even have to suck his gut in. He could have just pulled the jacket closer a little bit, you know?
Yeah. And look less ridiculous. And I don't know what it is, but that's crazy. Freeze frame. Looking at Stephen Miller's fingers, I know it's the correct number of fingers, but I tell you, every time I see them splayed out like that, I'm looking for an AI fifth finger.
You know what I see? Remember the hot dog fingers from
Yes.
Everything Everywhere All at
Everything
Once?
Everywhere All at Once. Yes.
He's a yellow bastard with hot dog fingers.
It's giving that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what he did. We spent 30 minutes on it. This was our big thing to talk about Vanity Fair. It absolutely was. And so I'm not mad that we spent time talking about it. I really am not. But go ahead.
I was saying, before we move on, I do want to make the point that, and it's not my point. I saw this on Threads, but I thought it was a good point, which is Vanity Fair has done their share of bullshit.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
Support of this regime. They call it fair and equal. They call it giving everyone a voice, etc. But you serve the purpose of supporting this nonsense, and so and I can't even say that whether it's Vanity Fair or just an editor that got all this in, and the photographer that was being subversive that did this shoot, so I'm not giving Vanity Fair credit for this, but I will say well done to the photographer that took these pictures.
And I saw, to your point about whether or not their motives are, completely noble or whatever, they're getting a lot of credit in liberal progressive spaces about what this is. But there's a content creator where a female sibling asks her smart brother. So I guess, and she said, well, what do you think about the Vanity Fair article? And he's like, well, I think it's a distraction. And she's like, well, what do you mean by that? And it's like, this is a distraction that is being dropped right on the eve of dropping the Epstein files. And a lot of people say, oh, she got caught slipping. He's like, Susie Wiles is intelligent. She is the architect of the very worst people to come through the conservative movement over the past 30 years. She didn't do anything by mistake. Yeah. And Vanity Fair would like you to believe that this is some hard-hitting investigative piece, but actually it reads more like tittering gossip. And, she's just speaking her mind, and she's saying these things about these people in the cabinet. But all of this is the news story right now. And the Epstein files come out tomorrow, but everybody's still going to be talking about this. And so he was basically saying Vanity Fair is a part of the same corporate group with Vogue and the Gourmet magazine and Traveler and the New Yorker and all of these other things, which is about driving rampant consumerism. And so this article is really all about selling issues and exposing you to other things. And I will say, when I paid my $12 for a year of Vanity Fair, just so I could see the fallout as it continues to go, they gave me an opportunity. I could upcharge for another $48. I'd have access to all of the Condé Nast publications, which include Vogue, GQ, Traveler, like I said, a whole bunch of different things, all about lifestyle. And this in an economy where people are not living the Condé Nast lifestyle.
No.
It's extra tricky. And so I was feeling a bit better about the article before I listened to My Smartest Sibling. But I will say, regardless of that, what this photographer did,
those pictures are forever.
And he can say this is his oof. He can say he wasn't being shady. He can say he was capturing. He can do whatever. All I know is that these are digital images. And I don't know if he shot in black and white or he, addressed the image of Marco Rubio, especially Marco Rubio, in a way that gave that very stark examination. And the other thing I will say is that there is a picture, if you look at the article, there's a picture of Marco Rubio standing in a room, kind of looking down. Yes, go ahead.
Caroline Levitt is 28 years old.
Oh, yes.
Put that picture back up. This is the face of a 28-year-old. Okay, so take it down, please. In today's episode of Black Don't Crack, I don't have on anything but lipstick. All I did was wash my face this morning. It is 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. We come in here. Look at this. Versus 28-year-old.
Nary a wrinkle on your forehead. Cheeks flush.
Right. You want to talk about realism? Bring it
Lips
in.
luscious.
I feel like Jordan to sell you. Bring it in. Come in. Look at this. Look at how there's a lack of herpylitic entities on my lips.
Come on
Like,
for her politic entities. Now, I am not going to push on my face because I have a lot more city miles. However, what I will say is all of the people in these portraits, I believe, are younger than 40, except for Susie Wiles. And Susie Wiles has sold, I mean, she looks like a French 75. It's just crazy. And I will say this, before she became a part of the administration, when she was younger, I mean, she couldn't have been too much younger, but in her like early 20s, she
30
was
years ago.
She was like boilerplate blonde white girl. She looked like a regular college white girl. Now, granted, her husband and baby daddy is 31 years older than her. So maybe that attributes to the spoiled milkage of her visage. But read the article. If you haven't already read snippets, there is a guy in there who decided that a shaved side hair was like a good look.
He's trying to be edgy, but again,
oh, it's edgy.
You know, it was edgy for the 80s. And I've seen an undercut in some boy bands.
Yeah. Oh, he looks like the least popular member of NSYNC. The guy who had the little locks and never did anything.
His name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was the only one that nobody can remember.
Yeah. So he looks like somebody else don't nobody know.
Correct.
Okay.
And Dan Scavino, his nickname is the Caddy. It's okay. I have to. I'm gonna have to put this up. I really will. Just as we're gonna still not steel mill worker 45. We do have something to talk about that is directly pertinent to Sharpie, any Sharpie who has a healthcare plan, and that is the shenanigans that our Speaker of the House engaged in terms of sending Congress home. He decided that he had been forced through another discharge petition. The most discharge petitions, by the way, that we have seen in decades. Usually because a House Speaker has more control and there's less upset in the caucus, so that you don't have to have discharge positions because you're never going to get enough votes. But he does have a very narrow margin, and not grinder, Mike. And so they were forcing a floor vote on a 3-year extension of the Obama
ACA subsidies.
The ACA subsidies. So I give Hakeem Jeffries, there's a lot that he hasn't done, but he did stick to this and wrangled those votes from the GOP side, and they had their 218 and they were ready to present it. And so he shut down Congress again. Now,
it was what, 203, 202, and he stopped the vote. And a lot of Democrats hadn't voted. They were going to get it. And he's like, oh, we're done. I'm out. Everybody go home.
And this is why I feel it is almost a certainty that he is going to get the no confidence when Congress returns. And he may be unseated, and maybe it may be Jeffries.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who they would be able to rally around and get sufficient numbers to elect him. And if you have you're going to lose Marjorie. Marjorie's going to be gone. Which, I think she might actually vote for Hakeem Jeffries, to be honest. So I don't know how I feel about that. She can stay as long as she cares to, I guess, until the new speaker is installed. But they're between 20 and 40 GOP people are scheduled to either announce their resignations or resign after the new year. And so if he loses,
still a coward's way out. You
could have
stayed and fought the good fight and done what you know to be right, but instead you bow out and hope someone else can carry the torch behind you, and that's weak. It's really weak.
Just because I have it, this is Scavino, and because his hair is graying, it actually looks at the back of his head that he has like some Venus and Serena beads.
It does,
doesn't it?
He looks like the weakest member of that show, Vikings.
Oh wow, Vike.
Ings.
He's just Vike.
Right.
Ain't no king, just
No,
Vike.
just Ings. Yeah, Vike.
He's just Vike. So we are living in a country where the Secretary of Defense, who actually called himself Secretary of Defense, or is it Department of War, Department of Defense?
Yeah.
He actually said
Mhm.
Department of Defense. This is when he was claiming that he couldn't release the second strike footage because
Mhm.
of military secrets. How you release the strikes of the other boats killing all them people? It's just a missile. It's just a second missile.
Yeah.
It's no different. The footage isn't any different. You didn't use different armament. There's nothing on there that you couldn't share in a signal chat. So why is it that this piece, because you know it's a war crime,
Yeah.
and several senators on your side of the aisle know it's a war crime.
Yes.
So it's a lot coming. It's
Anybody
not
with a military background is going to side-eye in this. Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten the brother, who's a member of Omega Psi-Phi, by the way, who retired rather than
deal with this,
perform those unlawful orders. We haven't even had his testimony.
And it's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
It's so coming.
And we
Speaking
did get Jack Smith's testimony, though. Oh, there you go. Go ahead, take it away, Joy.
I'm jumping somewhere different. I'm jumping to what is her name here in Georgia that was on trial?
Oh, Fonnie
Willis.
Woo,
boy. Whole food in the most respectful. I mean that with full respect, right? Because I adore what she's doing, but she's been showing her whole ass, and she's like, "That's irrelevant. I don't even know why you're asking this question. It's a stupid question." And former Governor Roy Barnes is her lawyer.
Woo.
Yeah, he's sitting right there next to her, like, "This is a travesty." Sounding like Matt, like, "This is a travesty of time, and they're wasting your time. It's been asked and answered." You know, and his old Southern boy charm is what got him elected in the first place. But I love when we talk about, I'm saying a lot of things at once. When we talk about, the old South, and we talk about people learning and growing, and we talk about doing what's right and not making it political. Roy Barnes was absolutely an old white man. And you got this old white man that looks like he would shake hands with Colonel Sanders, right? Mm-hmm. He's sitting there defending this younger Black woman and saying she's already done this. This is a travesty. She's asked and answered. This isn't relevant. And both of them sitting there like this. And it was lovely. Just all you got to do is just Google Fonnie Willis trial, Fonnie Willis testimony. She was eating them lawyers up. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And hats off to her for going through this and getting past it. One guy was like, "Well, you weren't attorney general because you hadn't been sworn in." She's like, "I was the former one. I've been attorney general this whole time." Right. Like, what are you saying? This is ridiculous.
I was re-elected.
Yes. So the previous one is it until the next one is sworn in. I was already there.
I was already in.
Yeah.
I didn't have to be sworn.
They were like, you were trying to convict, you were trying to put together a grand jury before the dates of such and such. She goes, "Why would I put together a grand jury for a crime that hadn't been committed yet? That don't make no sense. This is ridiculous." Yeah. What I tell y'all about Black women being about 85% smoke. Right. Puff on that.
And the other 15 is stack.
You don't want none. You better hope you get stack, because at least stack will talk to you. Smoke, it's over.
Smoke will shoot you in the ass and then shoot you in the kneecap.
Right, because you ain't gonna get away with this. Yes.
This is
wait, who is the guy that cleaned up the poo in How to Train Your Dragon? I missed this comment, so I'm not sure which of the crazies we was talking about.
I think he's talking about Scavino.
Oh, yeah, he's right.
Because of Vikes.
So many pop culture references.
The Vikes. We do. It's a lot of pop culture. We are living, as we enter the season of celebration and calm. I don't know about the rest of you all. Our office is preparing to shut down. People are going to go visit family. People are going home. We celebrate, obviously, Christmas and New Year's. For those who celebrate Kwanzaa, I like Kwanzaa, actually. I think there's a lot of good things about Kwanzaa since it's a non-religious period. It's a period of reflection and family and really strong
Community building.
community principles and hand making gifts as opposed to buying gifts and gathering together a
Which
family.
in this economy is what we should be doing.
mean,
Everybody should have some crochet mittens this year.
Listen, crochet, flochet, anything but target.
Anything but target. So speaking of, I want to make this clear. I was in Target because the CVS that has my medicine was in Target. That is the only reason I walk in there once every 90 days is because my medicine is in Target. And it is that CVS, I don't want to go through the hassle of changing it because the other CVS by my house got boards on the windows. So I don't want to go in there. Right. So all that being said, I was in Target for the medicine at CVS. And these Black young men carolers came through. And I've never been so offended in my whole life. Well,
I know
I've never been so offended in 2025. So they walked through, they got on like green robes and pajamas and some more stuff. And at first I was like, what's happening? They're like, oh, we're about to do some Christmas carols. And I was like, okay, you know, and my first thought was, wow, Target is really trying to pander by letting these Black kids come in here. But then I'm thinking, now I'm used to like the Morehouse Glee Club. Right. Or at least some schools choir, right? A church choir, something. They start off shouting, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then it sounds like, like call and response, and then it's like trap lyrics. And it wasn't a trap Christmas song. I couldn't understand what they were saying. And I backed away because I realized what it was about to be. Like, let me make sure I'm not on anybody's camera as they record this nonsense. I'm not with them. I backed all the way up to the wall. I don't want to be on nothing. But I specifically remember hearing the N-word twice.
They were singing the N-word in a carol?
Yes. And they weren't singing. They were just shouting words. And I think they were shouting the lyrics to trap music. And I heard specifically, you ready for this? Put that pussy on me.
See, Target, this is...
I want to say this was Sunday or Saturday. It was one of those 2 days. So
that's Nasty Song. Is where those I believe.
Yeah.
That's the only song I'm familiar with that has
that phrase in it.
Lyric on it.
Yeah, but it's not a Christmas song or a carol.
Not.
And so why? And I was like, are they trolling? Like why did Target greenlight this? And one of my other friends said that maybe they just rolled up in there and Target had nothing to do with it, which is better and worse.
Disruptors. Yeah. I'd like to think maybe they were disruptors and
maybe they were being disruptors because Target also didn't want the optics of hustling out a bunch of Black carolers before they got started, right? Like you got to let them sing, right? But whatever that is, stop it.
I think one of the things that we've been on the trend and writing for supporting people who are Black vendors and manufacturers. We have talked about some of the folks and some of the brands that we have supported,
like
Actively Black among them. And Actively Black has actually 100% been killing the game in terms of their fashion shows and the way that they have been promoting things. They've just been doing a spectacular job. They had the Civil Rights fashion show. They just dropped an HBCU collection. They are really doing.
They also just launched the Actively Black Cozy collection that looks like chenille pajamas, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I didn't even know the breadth of their offerings, but as it turns out, somebody that I'm working with is good friends with the Actively Black people, and so we're looking forward to doing some cool stuff. I did want to share something in particular, if I'm able to pull it up, and I'm not sure I will be able to, but it is perhaps the most hype. It's just I'm going to share it with the through the screen share because I definitely want everybody to see it. It is just that dope, and so I'm going to set it. Let's see if I can do this. one more time.
How's sweet so? You got this. Fight
Yeah. No, it's not going to work. So I'm just going to do this instead. I'm going to share screen and Instagram, and there it is. Share. I'm going to pull it into the stage. I'm going to make sure that the sound is up. Watch and enjoy, because this is
my favorite commercial.
This is so, every time it comes up in a reel, I watch it. And actually, the friend of mine who is friends with them actually directed this. So here we go. The choreographer in the blue.
I love the inclusion in here too.
9-7. Bust a bus. Hot. Check it out. Hit you with no delay into what you saying, yo. Silly with your ice, grilly with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club like we while in the studio. You know when to violate, baby, really and truly, yo. My main thug, Dylan ain't Julio, he moody, yo. Type of rubber that'll slap you with the tulio. Real shook, scared to death, act fruity, yo. X that, look at
little act fruity.
The way she shake it make me want to get all in.
I love this part.
Top mistress of the banging misses and videos. While I'm with my freak like we up in the freak shows. Did you with this shit, make you feel it all in your toes? Got all my people.
This part right here.
My metaphors when I fall
That's
like
the best.
flows. If you don't know, you're messing with lyrical player pros. Like
you really
that.
wanna party with me? Let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands with my eyes to see. Straight buck violin in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands with my eyes to see. Straight buck violin in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me,
ain't gonna be trust. Yo, it's a must that you heard of us, yo, we murder us. A lot of people is wondering and they're curious. I mean, in my unit, do it is so mysterious. Furious, all of my people is serious. Shook others, we walking around.
That is so fire.
It's an amazing piece of work. And I thought maybe that it was actually shot in green screen at different times, and they were like,
no, they was on the roof
together because it looks so flawless and cool. No, it was shot live.
In one take, if I'm not mistaken, because they do all of that, and like they got a stationary camera, and you just dance past the camera around and around, which is a great effect because it's so seamless and it's beautiful.
And they chose exactly the right song.
Yeah,
and
Busta never fails.
Just it was every time. That is a commercial that every time it comes up, I will say, oh, okay,
I watched the whole commercial. I put that on my Facebook page. I was like, every time this comes up, I'm gonna watch it every single time. That's the one. That's the commercial that said, "I'm buying something."
Correct.
I tatted up loud on my phone in the house, and I was like, "What they sell? I'm buying something." And the first thing I bought was it's a briefcase bag or message bag that says "Black women are superheroes," which they've discontinued. So now I have a limited edition.
There you go.
You can't get it no more. Then I did the Wakanda stuff. Then I did the Spelman stuff. We did the Black Cotton stuff. I've got a capsule collection of Actively Black at this point.
This is what I'm saying. And all it takes, the rhythm and the vibe of this brand is so solid. And now that they have, they don't have licensing agreements, obviously, with all of the HBCUs. But you bought the Spelman.
They got the good ones though.
Yeah,
that was shady. That was shady to say.
I got my FAMU one. You got your Spelman one. They got the heavy hitters.
Yes.
And so I will just say, obviously, I'm a ride always for Fear of God, my boy, Jerry Lorenzo Manuel.
You know what? They're doing well because I saw Fear of God on one of the Stray Kids in one of their videos.
Well, and here's the thing. They just announced their NFL collab.
Nice. And
he's got the NBA on multiple continents, and he just got the full licensing thing with all of the NFL. So he's got NFL, MLB, and NBA. I asked him if he was going after curling and badminton next, because he's locking down all the big sports. So he's doing some amazing things, and he just announced that he's terminating his relationship with Adidas. So he's going in a different direction after many years and a successful collaboration, especially in the shoe space. He is abandoning that partnership and seeking greener pastures. So big shout out to my man, Jerry Lorenzo Manuel. And for those of you who are looking for things, it's obviously getting kind of close to Crumma. But
I didn't know that. They got a Disney collab too.
So if you want, yes, they do. If you do want to look, there are places that you can look. There are Black women selling some really dope bags. There are people who, the melanin-full people have really nice hoodies and jerseys and t-shirts that celebrate African-American heritage, especially. There are things that you can do to support people who are in your community. Brilliant artists who are on Facebook that you can buy prints. I bought prints from some artists. So there's lots of things that you can do to support and in your own small way, make contributions to Black creators and Black creatives during this holiday season. Oh, I thought you might pick that up. So while you're typing,
I'm sorry, I was looking for something really quick. But since we were talking about, because I remembered it was something I wanted to share, I had a chance to do. I also work with Moana Nui podcast on every other night. But we had a chance to interview this week a couple of new creators. Okay. And they have put together they've put together they're working on the anime, but they're also doing a hard copy comic book, and it's called Musa, Lion of Mali, which is referring to Mansa Musa. And I'm trying, all of a sudden I was like, I got to get to the Kickstarter. So if you're looking for something to support, let me see if I can bring this up really quickly, because I know I was trying to do something on the I was doing something the last minute. Okay, let me see if I can get this up and bring it in. There we go. Now let's see if I can get this to go away. There we go. Musa, Lion of Mali. It's 120-page historical fantasy epic. So it's based on Mansa Musa, but we all know Mansa Musa is like the richest man to ever live. We know that. This is not that. This is the imagination of what was his early life like before he became the richest man in the world, before when he was still living in his father's shadow, when he, some of the intricacies of court, et cetera, court as it were, and how he comes to be Mansa Musa before he takes his pilgrimage, everything else. And so it's a super slick. I don't know if this is going to play. I'm going to try it. Yeah.
We got about a minute and a half.
Okay. Just some examples. Like, it's going to be great. If you want to support, I'll drop the link in the chat.
And I just dropped a link to another creator who I absolutely love on Facebook, The Soul of My Pen. She's got amazing stories. She's the Sometime Ago Story Time. Mm-hmm. And she does the little click. But she also has a graphic novel. So I just dropped her Facebook profile in the chat. If you want to support what she's doing, she has an animated thing that she is trying to get made into an animated movie. Right. So with that, please support your Black folks, including us. We're happy to have you support us too. And we will look into a Patreon for next year. And because we're trying to get in under an hour, I will say, I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm somebody else.
And this is Steel Sharpened Steel. We will see you. We're actually going to do a post-Christmas episode, so come back and watch. Bye.